the Northern Territory Police continues the search for 5-year-old Sharon, and we're also continuing our search for the suspect in this matter, Jefferson Lewis, who is 47 years old. We've deployed a lot of resources here to Alice Springs in anticipation of finding the little girl safe. And right now, this remains the number one priority of the Northern Territory Police, is to get Sharon back to her family.
Can you tell us about the scale of the investigation so far?
The investigation is, we have major crime down here working with the Alice Springs CIB. The fugitive task force is inbound at this stage, so they'll be here on the ground later on this afternoon. It's like I said, number one priority, and it's one of the biggest investigations we've had going for a while.
Are the police alleging that Jefferson Lewis abducted Sharon?
At this stage, that's where we're going with it, yes.
Is he known to Sharon or the Granite's family?
It's a loose connection to the family, and they just happened to be present together at that location on Saturday night.
How long was he out of prison for?
At that stage, he was out of prison for 6 days.
How many detectives are on the case right now?
Right now, we have 20 odd, maybe 25, with the fugitive task force coming down this afternoon, which will be up to another dozen. So a lot of boots on the ground in this search, and we've had 70 odd volunteers assist us with the search this morning, so that was fantastic. And yeah, look, like I said, the search continues, but at this stage we haven't found what we're looking for.
Have there been any leads or sightings of little Sharon yet?
No sightings of Sharon. There's been we've had some information where Jefferson might have been sighted, but we're unable to confirm that it was actually him at this stage.
There's been no mention of a vehicle. Is there? Do you have any idea of a type of vehicle that he might be?
No,
we
don't believe he has access to a vehicle, but that's not to say that somebody's not driving him around.
So other people could be assisting him?
Could be, yes.
Is that being investigated right
That's
now?
part of the investigation, for sure.
Are Aboriginal trackers or trackers being used, and if not, why not?
Aboriginal trackers are being used, and we've also got the assistance of the volunteers. We've also got the assistance of the land councils, Central Land Council, and the volunteers from that land council are assisting us, but also Tungatjeri Council. We've got the North Force, we've got the ADF, and we've got lots of agencies supporting us to look for little Sharon.
Why exactly was Jefferson Lewis at that town camp earlier that day?
That's where he was allowed to stay there, and so that's why he was there. Sharon and Mum were there for other things, and they've come across each other there, and that's what part of the investigation at this stage.
Why was he in that body-worn vision that day?
So that was unrelated. It was just fortuitous that we got that photograph of him earlier on in the evening, but it was unrelated, and no offences detected or anything like that in relation to that interaction.
So what were police responding to then at that time?
I don't have the information in relation to that, sorry.
We've heard from sources that he was behaving erratically, that he was being disruptive in the community, in the town camp. Can you confirm or deny that?
I can't confirm or deny that, other than to say there were no offences detected, and after police conducted initial inquiries, we left the location.
Do police believe he has a history of mental health issues?
Look, that could be right. Looking at his past criminal history, I can see violence offences, so I couldn't rule that out, but I can't confirm or deny that. I don't have that.
Have police been provided any information about Mr. Lewis from the Department of Corrections about his time behind bars?
That forms part of the investigation, for sure.
Can police elaborate on any of that information that the corrections have provided to police around Mr. Lewis?
We're looking at his associations whilst he was in custody, but outside of that, I don't want to go into any specifics.
Do you think that the police search could have been triggered earlier?
No, I think the team has done everything within its power. It was up and running very, very early, and the resources here as part of the search are really significant. So it is one of the biggest searches being undertaken for a while by the search and rescue team. TRG, motorbikes, horses, helicopters, drones. So it's a significant investigation and search.
Just touching on the help NT Police is getting, have police called on any interstate help? Do police believe Jefferson may have crossed state lines?
No, we don't believe so.
So you believe he's still in Central Australia somewhere?
Absolutely,
And potentially within that 20-kilometre search radius.
we believe so.
What efforts are being made beyond Alice Springs in places like Largemanu or other Walker communities in that region to locate him?
We've had police in Largemanu last night and Gildamu last night, and we're pretty happy that he wasn't in either of those locations.
And it would have been difficult without a car, I'm guessing.
Absolutely, but we acknowledge that he still could have got there, but it wasn't via official transport or a car that he had access to.
How is the family feeling? Can you elaborate on the kind of work you've been doing on the family and how they're going right now?
So as you can imagine, Mum's pretty distraught. We're looking after Mum and the family and the wider family. This is every parent's worst nightmare, and we've continued to provide that ongoing support to Mum and the wider family.
Is there any thought that this is a custody issue or anything like that?
No,
No.
no.
And in terms of the scale of the search, can you just kind of elaborate on the search area and some of the issues that you might face searching in that area? I understand there's knee-high grass, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So it's rough terrain, long grass, soft sand. It's quite a large area. Obviously, we have a crime scene that is located. It's really confined, but the search area is much larger, and that's involving all those extra resources around drones, helicopters, ATVs, motorcycles, all those type of things.
Do you believe that Sharon is alive?
We do, and that's why at this stage our number one mission is to find her safe and well. But as you know, as time goes on, the chances of finding her alive and well reduce. So, hence the amount of resources we have present here in Alice Springs.
Behind the camp, there seems to be quite a significant area taped off with police tape. Why is that?
Well, that's a crime scene, and we've located items of interest within that area, and that's why it's still being processed by crime scene and under investigation.
Can you elaborate on what those items of interest are?
No.
Just going back to the night in question, what sort of picture have police painted about what's happened on Saturday night prior to little Sharon going missing?
Sorry, I don't know where you're going with it.
What do police believe happened in the lead up to little Sharon going missing?
Well, we believe Jefferson Lewis has led the little girl away to that crime scene that we have taped off. So, in terms of anything else, the other things that are going on, they remain under investigation. But a lot of the other things that we've located, it's very innocuous, but the actual taking of the child is very specific.
If Jefferson Lewis abducted her, do you have a motive? Why has he done it?
Yeah, we don't have that at this stage, but that's certainly one of the main points of the investigation.
Do you believe alcohol was involved?
There was alcohol being consumed at the camp at the time, and so he probably was under the influence of alcohol.
What were the family doing at the house? Were they homeless? Were they visiting? Were they just passing through? Town camps are very transient places, so could you just kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Sharon's mum was over there to do some washing, and she knew people there, so she was quite welcome in that area.
And just going back to Mr. Lewis, I heard he had quite a bit of a history. He spent time in the Barclay work camp. Has this information been provided to police through corrections?
Yes, yeah, we have all those. We have all those details of his incarceration, the last time and other times before that.
Is it true that when he was a part of Barclay work camp, he actually wasn't allowed to go into town of Tennant Creek?
I don't have any of those details.
Has Jefferson Lewis previously had any addiction issues?
Yeah, don't have that either. Obviously, he has a long criminal history. That would suggest to me that he could have some of those issues, but I don't have any of those specifics.
Do you have any idea of the number of people that were in the home, the residence on the night in question?
Yeah, there were several people that we've spoken to that were there having, it was a bit of a party, very social occasion going on. We've spoken to just about all of them, and but this person is the one we want.
I mean, that's a bit vague, as a number of people. Can you give us a
No, I
rough
don't have the
idea of
number.
sort of 5, 10, 15?
I don't have the number.
When police were first notified that little Sharon was missing, did they also receive any notification that Mr. Lewis was missing alongside her?
Very quickly, yes. Yep.
I mean, in terms like how quickly, like same call?
I don't know whether it was the same call, but after police got there, the little girl was missing. It was very quickly relayed to us that Jefferson Lewis was also missing, and it was pretty easy to put two and two together.
When was the last time he was seen that night?
I think he was last seen with the little girl holding hands at around about 11 o'clock at night.
Did anyone question why he was holding hands with the little girl?
No, look, I don't know.
Could you just talk a little bit about the community support that has come forward this morning to kind of help with the volunteer efforts?
So the community support has been overwhelming, and we're grateful for that support, but we have enough volunteers and we have enough specialist people on the ground now to assist us, but we are asking people to ring with any information that they may have. Any small bit of information will help us get Sharon home, and to ring 000 or 131 444 or Crime Stoppers 1800 333 000.
Are there any cultural sensitivities to keep in mind when reporting on cases like this?
Well, we do have access to interpreters in the 000 call centre, Walkley speakers, so if people want to speak in their first language, that is accessible to people who want to ring in with any information.
If you knew that she'd been taken, or that Jefferson had been reported missing very close to the time that she'd been taken, and he'd been seen holding her hand, why did you spend Sunday saying she had potentially wandered off?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard that media, but that's certainly not my understanding. My rhetoric is, and at 9 o'clock on Sunday night, we had an internal circular out for his arrest, so I'm not sure what happened earlier.
So a warrant is out for Mr. Lewis?
No, we don't need a warrant. We have an arrest power for him.
Yeah.
Have Jefferson Lewis's family been able to assist with any possible known locations from the past for him, and have you searched those?
Yes, we are been investigating the links and the connections in the community that the gentleman's got links to, and family members and relations and so forth. So at this stage, all those stones have been uncovered, but we encourage people to give us any more information to build a picture so we can find Sharon.
And do you believe that he and the young girl may be at another town camp in town? Have you searched other places like that?
I mean, we're searching everywhere at the moment. We're not just confining it to the area of the old timers camp. We've got police in other locations, and they're doing investigations, and that's building the picture of where we go to next.
Thank you. That's it from me.
Has the family given any message that police want to relay?
Not at this stage, except that obviously they're very concerned and they want to find Sharon. They're very distressed, and we advise them that we're doing all that we can to find her.
Would there be any potential of police and the family fronting media together for an appeal?
Mum is quite distressed at this time, so at this stage that's probably not possible, but in the longer term that may be likely.
What's the, just to summarise everything, what's the absolute message the police want to provide to the public right now?
Well, our number one, like I said, our number one mission is to find little Sharon safe and well, and we're doing everything within our power. The number one priority is to do that. This is a declared major crime, and as such I've got access to all the resources of the Northern Territory Police. As Leanne said, any sightings, please report them. Anything, you might think it's small, but it might mean something to us, so please make contact.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.